Welcome to this week's JVA Coach to Coach Video of the Week, brought to you by NetLink Sports, the preferred court provider of the JVA.
Okay, we're going to talk about feet a little bit, and one of the things we like to do is we'll have our setter start 3 to 5 feet off the net. We don't like to have them start tight. We want them to be off because at our level, lots of balls are passed and dug off the net. So like our first thing is what we ask our setters to do is they're going to be 3 to 5 feet off, and we want them to always face the ball, right? So if I'm passing the ball from here, she's going to turn and face me, right? So we're always facing from where the ball is coming from. And in our gym, we like to work, our footwork is going to be right, left, right, most of the time whenever we're moving forward. And when we're moving back, then it's going to be left, right, left. And maybe, Corey, you can mix her up a little bit and just have her go off of her feet. And maybe toss her a little bit forward too, Corey. Just have her go right, left, right. Just have her go forward a little bit. And so we want to work on right, left, right, and we like to go off of 1 foot. It's not something that we make our kids do, but I think it really makes your setter athletic, especially when she's on the run. And one of the things we talk about is, Corey, let's toss them some maybe on the 3-meter line. Back up a little bit. And when they come off the net, we're okay with them being parallel with the net. We're not saying you have to square on every ball. Now we want them to end up being square when they set the ball, but as they come off the net, she's parallel there. That's a good set there. So we call it parallel with the net. And one of the things that we talk to our setters about is when they're running off the net is we like for this last step to just kind of turn a little bit. And this allows me to be a little bit more balanced in my jump. When we see a lot of setters, when they're going off of one leg, they're going to run like this, and when they jump off this leg, their body weight tends to carry them through the ball. And so we talk about using the ground for force and being able to jump up nice and tall and be balanced as much as possible when you set. So one of the things that we're talking about, she's going footwork here, right, left, right. We'd like her to turn that right foot just a little bit like that to kind of get it slightly parallel with the line. And as she leaves the ground, she's parallel, but as she ends up setting the ball, then she's square to target. Same thing when they're setting back as well, right? They want them to be parallel, and then we let them have this little bit of turn. We'll put the set up on a long back sets like this. We want them to put the ball in their right eye, and we're going to have them just have this little turn and finish their arms to target just like that. It's a really good move. One of the things I think what happens in our gym a lot when I'm training setters is we'll see them take a negative step a bunch, right? And they'll go backwards with their right step and they struggle to get to the balls that are off the net, right? So one of the things that we're working with a couple of our setters right now on is just making sure that they're here in balance and that their first step is with the right step off the net. If they take this negative step, it's going to be tough to get to a ball that's about 12 feet off, and they're going to be really having to run through that ball. And we're also fine with them going off of, that's a little better. We're also fine with them going off of 2 feet as well on perfect passes. And that's just up to the setter. Some setters like to go off of 1 a lot, and that's fine even on a perfect pass. Some like to go off of 2. So it's just up to the setter. We don't make them go off of 1, but I think it makes them way more athletic, and you're able to set the middle for more off the net.
Yeah, and one thing I want to talk about, Miranda, will you go back for me real quick? So one thing that Blake touched on is that we're moving away from setters. We have to get to this spot, and we have to be stopped and square before we set. One, it's just incredibly unrealistic that we're going to be here, we're going to be stopped, this ball is going to be coming over our shoulder, and I'm going to be square and stopped. I was a sports performance setter. I did that my entire life, right? But we want to add a little bit more rhythm to our approach. So what Blake talked about is we're okay with a little bit of a rotate. So getting parallel to the net, right? Having our feet to the sideline, and then maybe we're making sure that, one, we are under this ball. So we're at 11 o'clock, the ball's not on our left. A lot of our setters will come off here in the ball left eye. So we're under the ball, and then as I rotate into it, right, I am finishing my shoulders, my hips, my hands on a line to my target, right? And so we see this a lot with our younger kids. They like it, but when they start to do, though, is then they start to over-rotate, right? So Miranda, show me maybe a couple good ones. You can go off 1 here. Go ahead, Corey. So she's gonna go off one, she's gonna finish everything on her line. Good, let's do another one, a good one, where she's gonna go up, she's gonna have her foot pacing the sideline, good, freeze. So do one more and then freeze for me, okay? She's gonna have everything finished on her line, right? So her attacker knows, because of where she's finishing her hands, the predictable line to where you want the attacker to attack this ball, even though she's not looking like this before she sets. Okay, now what we don't want to see, we see this a lot, and we're working on this in our training, especially at our younger kids, is they're gonna do this and they're gonna over-rotate, okay? Yeah, exactly, great mess up, right? So now we're taking this ball, maybe because our feet aren't there, so maybe this ball's on our left, right? Or maybe we're not actually getting parallel to the net, maybe our foot's not to the sideline, so I'm starting here. So my brain goes, holy cow, that's a really big rotate. So now I over-rotate, and now this ball goes over the net. Okay, let's see one more bad one. Or not good one, I should say. Yeah, very good job. So one thing that Blake talked about was being parallel and having our foot here. So as we rotate into it, we finish on our line, where our shoulders, our hands, everything are finishing, whether it's on our back set outside or our go set out, our back set right side, or our go set outside. It's a predictable line from our hands to where we want our attacker to pick this ball out of the air.
Thank you for watching the JVA Coach to Coach video of the week.